All forms of hunger are not created equally, and all people who experience hunger do not experience them to the same degrees or intensities, and they each have a different psychological component or effect. So for instance, someone who is 20 pounds overweight has much less hunger than someone who is 200 pounds overweight. Your overall physical condition matters. The same way a person who is in good shape can exert physical activity and then stop, and their body will go back to normal quicker. Whereas someone who is out of shape, they'll stay breathing hard longer. They'll stay worked up. Their chemical levels will be off. If they were to get a physical, a doctor would show a lot more concern because their body doesn't recover as well. It's like that with hunger. The first three types of hunger, yeah, I could eat. Let's eat. And I'm in the mood for fill in the blank. These are the three illusionary types of hunger. They're false. They're the result of bad habits. If you are overweight, if you have let yourself go, you have succumbed to these first three feelings of hunger. Yeah, I could eat is the feeling that, yeah, someone mentions food, you could eat. Let's eat is the conviction, you might even get ready and go out to eat. But I'm in the mood for is craving-based hunger. Chances are you have eaten because of one of these first few types of hunger. And that over the time got you overweight. Number 4 has an asterisk by it because that's real hunger. Your stomach growling, sustained feelings of hunger, possibly with the shakes as your blood sugar wanes. This is normal and this is real hunger. But it's not a manageable hunger. Levels 5 and 6 are where you really begin to see compromises in your functionality. Stomach growling, sustained feelings of hunger get longer, they get more intense, you get headaches. The shakes become worse. Now, let me stop and emphasize something really quickly. If you are getting the jitters so bad after meals and you have to keep going to the vending machine and grab a snack, that's a horrible sign. That means you are pre-diabetic. Almost certainly it means that. You need to begin fasting immediately and not get off the plan because your blood sugar level needs to reset itself. Hear me loud and clear on that. You need to make sure you are in a state of fasting because the good news is blood sugar abnormalities, most types of diabetes, are reversible fully if you will just stop the feedings. So that's the point there. But when you get to 6 and 7, that's when you're seriously out of shape. When you're adjusting to your fasting routine, this is where I was when I started my routine. I was having to watch cat videos. I was having to watch MMA videos, World Star Hip Hop. I was watching crazy stuff just to distract myself. I would get up and try to do chores, but I was so weak I couldn't do much because I was out of shape. And when you're out of shape, you're going to be more hungry. The mental toll you're going to feel from that hunger is going to be much more strong. The pull to eat is going to be much more strong. It's going to be selective. You're going to be trying to think of all the reasons you need to not eat, and your body's going to be trying to make you forget them. And just go in there and throw down. Just go to that kitchen and just grab anything, like you've been swimming for 5 hours. It's that type of hunger where you can't even think. That's level 6 and 7. Level 8 is starvation hunger, when we don't even need to get into it because if you live in America or most parts of the world, you've got too much food around you, not too little. Going back to numbers 1 through 3. The reason people are big is because they eat when they're not hungry. Numbers 1 through 3 you're not really hungry. If you're craving candy, that's either a sign that you are nutritionally deficient or you have a bad habit in place, but you should not be craving stuff. The one thing that you will experience once you have fasted for long enough is that you're not going to have those mystery cravings throughout the day. It doesn't mean food won't sound good to you. Even guilty pleasure foods, they won't occasionally sound good to you. But healthy people do not go throughout the day craving things. They do not say, well, God, I just need a donut right now. Yeah, sure, they know that donuts taste good and they might think, hey, that sounds good, but they're not going to go around with the thought continually bombarding them unless they're just beginning to get back into shape and they're still beating those. Here's the one thing that a 1 meal a day routine does that nothing else does. It destroys completely and forever your psychological cravings. Level 3 hunger. I'm in the mood for biscuits and gravy. I'm in the mood for Popeyes. I'm in the mood for tacos. I'm in the mood. It will destroy those cravings when you get the munchies in the middle of the day, because you know you can't eat until a certain time. And once you do that for long enough, you will never again feel like that. Once you hit 2 months, 3 months of fasting on the 1 meal a day plan, those will be history. You will not think about going and grabbing 6 or 7 Butterfingers like I used to do and washing it down with a Big Red, and all the horrible habits that I used to have. Or, whatever yours are, you cannot maintain the munchies if you are eating at a certain time and you have a regulated, established eating plan. So levels 1 through 3, these are the lowest forms of hunger, but they're something that you have complete control over. And they should never have swayed you. If you succeed at eating once a day, which you will if you want to, you will never be victim to those again, because you'll recognize them for what they are. They're not real hunger, they're false hunger. How do you tell real hunger? Real hunger is level 4 hunger. Your body petitions you to eat, and it's usually connected with it's always connected with your activity levels, so that you're actually feeling the hunger based on how busy you are, based on the lifestyle, how long it's been since you've eaten, and your overall routine. Besides, you're hungry enough to eat things that are not carb trigger foods. For instance, if you're hungry enough to eat asparagus or broccoli, you are really hungry. If you're only hungry for chocolate no-bake cookies, then you're in the matrix of food, of overeating. You are in that category of people who are fat statistics. The reason you got big is because you started eating because everybody else wanted to eat. You ate all the food in the office, wherever you work, because everybody brought donuts and kolaches and stuff, and you just ate because that was the thing to do. This is why I say you cannot eat when you're hungry in today's society. You cannot eat when you're hungry in today's society. It's worth repeating to yourself several times. If you do, you will look like everybody else. You will look like the roundest, biggest women you see in the office, because they do that. They eat when they want to. They eat when they are hungry. If you eat at the same time every day and you treat your body to regularity, you will never struggle with weight. You'll never struggle with weight again. So this is why, folks, I am leading an OMAD revolution. This is why I am pushing, and I've decided to go public with the 1 meal a day message, because the craving following, the psychological eating, the eating when you're hungry, the munching, the snacking, the constant calorie bombardment that's all around us is making the world a fatter, more diabetic, less healthy place. And that's why all of this is so important. Your fasting plan could be the cornerstone of your life. It's super important because you are an extension of your health, your mind, your psyche, your emotional seat, your spiritual outlook even, is largely defined by your ability to be in control. Self-control is cool. Fasting is cool. And we need as many people on board the OMAD train as we can have, because your health, just like every other aspect of your life, matters incredibly.